Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing some back to school, super easy and healthy lunch recipes. If you guys enjoy this video and like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that little subscribe button as well. Now let's get started. For the first healthy recipe, we're going to be making cauliflower fried rice. And what you'll need is cauliflower, some spices, and vegetables. I used asparagus and zucchini, bell peppers, onions, chicken, eggs, and egg whites. So for the first step, we're going to take our assorted vegetables and we're going to just dice them up into little pieces. Next, we're going to take the cauliflower, and the cauliflower has to be boiled before we are going to grate it. So the first thing I did was I filled a pot of water and I boiled the cauliflower for about 5 minutes, but not too long because the cauliflower will get mushy. And then I placed the cauliflower into a food processor and I pulsed the food processor. Now you may encounter like a lot of water in the food processor from the cauliflower. That's why you want to pulse it. If you just turn it on, it's going to make like a paste instead of dicing it up into little bitty pieces. Next, I'm going to take the coconut oil and put that in a pan and let that kind of warm up the oil. And then I will add all of the other vegetables that I chopped up. I'll let that cook for a little bit until I add the chicken, which cooks faster. And then I will add the cauliflower and kind of saute it together.
But at least we'll both be beautiful and stay forever young. This I know, this I know.
And finally, I will add the egg and egg whites that I mixed together. At this point, this is where you can get a little bit creative and you can add different spices. I used liquid aminos. It's kind of like a substitute soy sauce. It's gluten-free and it's also pretty good for you. And of course I added some salt and pepper and continued to mix all the ingredients together as it cooked. And voila, you have cauliflower fried rice. For my next recipe, I like to call these easy squash patties. All you're going to need is eggs, spaghetti squash, and some spices. To prepare the spaghetti squash, you'll first need to perforate the spaghetti squash with a knife just to make some holes into it. This allows it to release the pressure that will build up inside as it's baking. Then you'll turn on your oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit and bake the spaghetti squash for about 45 minutes in the oven. In order to check to see if the squash is ready, you take a fork and you will puncture the squash from the outside. If the fork goes in nice and easily, it means it is ready. Once we cut open the squash, you're going to take a spoon and you're going to dig out the seeds and the centerpiece of the squash. And then you'll take a fork and you'll kind of scrape off the walls inside the squash. It's weird to explain, but as you can see here, I'm like shredding the squash with the fork. Once you've finished that, you're going to take about a handful amount of spaghetti squash and you're going to put it on a pan. You don't even need any oil. We're just going to use the pan as almost like a grill for our patties. Once you add the squash to the pan, we're going to add the eggs that we mixed earlier in a very slow fashion. You're going to add just a little bit at a time because you want the egg to, as it's cooking, to spread into the squash instead of just spreading all over the pan. So you add a little bit at a time. And then you're going to flip it on the other side and it's going to cook nicely to get like a crisp, almost like hash brown look. And this is a really great snack. It's also a great way to make breakfast. You can add some mozzarella cheese on top, or you can make it into a sandwich. You can add some guacamole, whatever you want. This is very like basic. You can season it however you want. It's a very, very easy recipe. For the final easy recipe, we're going to make squash pasta. And all you'll need is, once again, spaghetti squash, some pasta sauce, and spices, and any other toppings you might want. Same basic concept like the squash patties. We're going to put the spaghetti squash on the pan and let that kind of get nice and crispy. And then we're going to add some pasta sauce and just kind of cook it a little bit. This doesn't need to cook for a long time, maybe like 5 minutes. And that's it. It's really simple. You add some cheese on top, or you can add some chicken and mix it all together. And it's super easy and quick, and you can take this to school or eat it for breakfast or eat it for dinner, it doesn't matter. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as subscribe. Feel free to leave any questions or comments down below, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!